Welcome to the call today. This is Scott Pierce at Listings-to-Leads, and obviously with me we got Ye Gong as always, but we have a exceedingly special guest with us, Gordon Day with LPT Realty in Pensacola, Florida. So Gordon, thank you for joining us, man. Good to see you again.
Hey, it's good to be here, Scott and Ye. It's a long time.
It's a long time. Yeah. Good to
Time.
see you.
Yeah. I think you said a couple of weeks ago, for those of that don't know Gordon, he was actually our very first broker client in 2009. And as typical, in and out of the program, right, lost touch for maybe 8 or 9 years at one point and came back. And so, yeah, just so happy to see you with us again. So, yeah, super excited, super excited. You know what I want to bring up? You said, I think it was you that said I was dipping my toes in the water for too long. And we got to talking, and I'm like, Gordon, do you want to commit or not? Do you want to do this? Because I'm more than happy to do it with you. I've known you forever. I can trust you. You're a broker associate. You've been in the business. You know what you're doing. And I'm like, if you're going to commit, I will commit to you. And let me come up with a way to get your business really growing. And he's like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I've been dipping my toes in the water for way too long. And now we're gangbusters.
It's rocking right now. It's so much, the fun's all back. I feel like a youngster again.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about this a little bit later. But I was telling somebody else this recently, and I was like, God, for that first month and a half, it was a little touch and go. And I could see he was stressing out because we're spending money and time is going on. And then I still remember that week where I could see things were changing. And then you sent me that text, and you're like, Scott, you're like, I had a 14-hour day. I talked to this woman for 20 minutes, had a great conversation with her. I can feel, and I'm liking the business again.
Yeah, I can feel the momentum shifting.
You got to put the work in. I've never minded ever doing the work, Scott. But at the beginning, the stress was coming from too many systems, which were creating too much time consumption. Versus
we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Versus me talking to people, having conversations. I wasn't having enough conversations. And when we cut the crap out and just simplified, man, you got it turned on for me. And it's so easy and fun again.
Yeah. You literally cut out, I'm not going to name the programs, but you cut out a major website provider, a data provider, another email CRM provider, another mailing company that you cut out. And all of these were built up to be amazing things. And they can be. There's a place for a lot of them. But at the end of the day, if you're just trying to simplify your life and what did you just say? Have conversations. That's what we're here for.
Have conversations.
Yeah. Because if you're going to spend your whole day putting systems together that, are too many systems all trying to talk to each other. And I'll tell everybody, Gordon is using Lofty as a CRM. The leads, and we'll talk more about this, but the leads are going into Lofty, I guess you said, really easily. And, when the ads are running, you're just calling.
Correct. They come directly from L2L with all the data that's in L2L into Lofty. So before I was bouncing around to all the multiple systems. Now I just open Lofty. If I'm not answering right away, my Lofty AI assistant has already engaged. And I was talking to you earlier about the for sale by owner that came today, just from that.
I can't wait. Yeah, we'll talk about that because we got a really awesome for sale by owner tools within our system. And so I was telling Gordon, I was like, make sure that you offer her a set of tools, because in Listings-to-Leads, you can add a listing that's physical and it'll have their name on it and all their contact information, nothing from the agent. And that way she can have listing flyers and the single property website and all of the great stuff. And she can pretend she's an agent until she starts getting all those investors bothering her and, the people.
Exactly. Yeah.
We all know, and I hate this term. I really do, but I'm just going to say it because we all know it. But the whole buyers are liars thing, right?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody is nuts in this world, unfortunately. When you're a FISBO and you're thinking
every day.
Yeah. So when you knew that visible and you're thinking, oh, how hard can this be?
Oh, no,
Well,
as soon
no.
as they get into the system, they realize, "You know what? I'm gonna hire Gordon to do it. I can't do this. It's way too complicated." That's
Yeah.
another sell. Okay,
Yeah.
I can't see maybe we should you already introduced people, you wanna just get into the program?
Yeah, let's go through. I got the 8 page or whatever slide. I normally don't like to do slide decks, but let's just review this real quickly. Actually, the first 3 or 4 slides deal with Gordon. And so let me just set it up. I'll tell you what. So here's a couple of comments from Gordon after the switch flipped. So again, remember when we started this, and I'm going to talk more about this as well, but you're going to have to suffer through maybe 4 to 6 weeks of just building that ball of energy, right? That pipeline.
Mhm.
The pipeline for a lot of you, even as Gordon was doing, and most people still are doing, dipping their toes in the water, seeing how it is, getting a couple of leads here and there. No, you got to start spending money and you got to build up that pipeline because you're going to get bad phone numbers. You're going to get people that want to talk to you. And in the beginning, when there's just a couple of little leads coming in, it seems like this will never work. I've generated 10 leads in a week. That's not even nearly enough, right? You got a couple of bad phone numbers. People aren't returning your call. And the problem is not the fact that the leads are bad. That's just how leads are. The problem is you're not giving enough time and generating enough leads with enough money. And
Right.
so that's when we talked earlier with Gordon, right? That light switch went off and boom, it went from being a pain and with all the other systems that we were dealing with. And Gordon's like, you know what? Cancel. And finally, we're getting enough leads in the door. So, yeah, this was one comment he made to me a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago at this point, from one of the leads, right? I think it was $1 million listing that's coming up in June from one of the ads,
Yes.
and they're
Yes.
a buyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's multiple in that category, Scott.
Yeah.
It just keeps flowing.
Yeah. Yep. $1.98 per lead with one of the ads. Gordon spoke to the lead comes in. He's calling them. He's got the Lofty. No, we got AI as well, which I'll talk about a little bit later. So if you're not using Lofty AI or something else, we've got a great platform as well. 590 listing agreement, 6%, 690 purchase price. Dude, that one sale will pay for everything you're doing for the whole year. Now, that's not what we're going to rest on, but
Yes.
just saying, right?
Scott, can I tell you something about that too? Go back to that last one. Okay, so that 590 open house had a lady come in to that open house. She's considering making the offer on that open house, but she has a $600,000 home she wants to list with me.
Wow.
Awesome. So it keeps on that string you're showing right there. It keeps
Yeah.
getting wider.
I love it. And I will tell you, Facebook ads with open houses, right? And the other tools in listings to leads, and I'm sure a lot of you have other things that you're doing as well. That's what you want to do. Don't just rely on Facebook ads, right? Do the ads. I want you to do open houses because that's when you get face to face. And as Yi and I were talking last night, Gordon, we did a call on open houses. And Yi, how did you phrase that? It was like open houses are a way to they're a
Really
way to show
showcase
us.
your skills.
I'm sorry, say it again.
It's a way to show off your selling skills.
Yeah, it's right. It's a seller showcase.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
So
Mhm.
when the way Gordon does his open houses, and if you're on our call last night, right, Gordon does some of what we talk about, but there's room for improvement there even. Man, you want those open houses to represent the fact that when these homeowners come through, that you're going to have those kind of conversations like Gordon did, and not like 90% of you, no one on this call, but 90% of agents where you walk in, right? They're just standing there, lollygagging around. They may talk to you about something for a few seconds. There's no energy. It's dead. There's no people in there. So the people coming through almost feel a little bit weird for even being there sometimes. So,
Right. Like, am I in the right place or what?
Here he comes again. Yeah.
yeah. And when you market that open house, like what we talked about last night, and I'll give everybody the recording a little bit later in this call, you're going to have more people there, right? And so right there, again, this is from Gordon. 2.5 hours, picked up a couple of buyers, have a home to sell, right? One of them had whatever happened to the one that had the friend in real estate. Has that happened yet?
Okay, so I'm trying to remember if this is the one I just did this last weekend. Yeah, they want me to come over to their house. just in case the commitment with the agent doesn't work out.
Yeah.
They want me to be in the backup position on that one. I'm not sure if that's the one, Scott.
Yeah, well, that's all right. But nonetheless, there was another one. And of course, you're going to use the
use that,
Listings to
right?
Leads marketing plan so that hopefully we'll just knock
You're just
out
gonna
the
get that.
friend,
Exactly. I say
right?
bring the listing contract and sign it then.
Yeah, yeah. So here are some ads of Gordon. In fact, this starts bottom. So at the very end of March. Now, as we talked before the call started, we were doing some ads before even the end of March, but I was messing around and trying. I wanted to try some different things out. And then I finally just was like, why don't we just do what we do? Let's just do what we know. And so I was like, we're going to start throwing money at listings, just listed, open house. I don't know if Craig Johnson's on the call with us today, but that's the same thing that he was doing starting right about the same time. And as you can see here, these are little screenshots from his Listings to Leads account. 179 leads, 615 total for 344 cost per lead. And he's already blown that. He's going to blow that out as far as the ROI here within the next 4 weeks. Bigly.
Those are, and the minimum price point is $525. So when you're looking at that, Scott, that goes all the way up to $2 million.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, man, I looked at your listings today. You got some beautiful listings. Holy crap. The one on my Kai is gorgeous. Tam O'Shanter is just beautiful. Again, these are just little screenshots. 264, top 318. The two on the left, the top three are live right now. Top left, top second one over, just went live today. So $1.63, 312. Yeah, I hate saying it's a numbers game because it's also a test of your patience, a test of your will, your follow-up. It's everything. But in part it is also a numbers game. It's like anything else. If you don't have enough gas in the gas tank, you're not going to get to where you're trying to go to. If you don't put your foot on the gas, you're not going to get to where you want to go to. And I think, Gordon, that's what we finally got to that point after about 6 weeks, where again, as we said in the beginning, Gordon was like, I could tell you were like kind of on edge. You're a little bit prickly sometimes. And then, like I said, that switched.
Wait, where did you get that? Was funny. That position.
What's that?
This little dance move you did was funny.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
That's a California dance.
Yeah. It was actually Gavin Newsom was doing it on the podcast.
Yeah. You know what? As soon as
That's
he
what
said
I
that, I
meant.
was thinking, like, I don't do the Gavin Newsom thing. Oh my God. He does that his whole podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, that's not. All right. Just a few more before we get into the accounts. And because this is very similar, right? So Angie's like, this is a long game, guys. Fortune's in the follow-up and nurture. 2 buyers right now that came in from a just listed ad and a growing family ad. I closed a buyer and a seller from a previous listing doing the ads, getting in just what Gordon is doing. Get them into your database, follow up with them. He's got a different process than she does. And to be honest with you, don't worry about having the perfect process. There is no perfect process. There's just a process that's going to work for you to stay in touch with people. All right. If you're not calling leads, then you're not going to get the leads to work with you. And that's the name of the game, right? If you have Lofty, use their AI text follow-up. If you don't, we've got it. If you got another system, use it. But I love the AI text. And Gordon, you said it a little bit earlier. When you're not around, at least something is happening.
Exactly.
Because you're going to be in a listing presentation. You're in a listing appointment. You're out with clients. You're not in the mood sometimes. And so to have that backup to work for you when you need it, absolutely gold. Yep, exactly. All right. And then just a couple more slides right here. Absolutely instill, or what's the word I want to say? Reinforcing what we've been talking about. 2.5 months. All right. 1.5 to 2.5 months. All right. Now he's using the Listings to Leads AI text follow-up. Couple of screenshots, right? $1.95 a lead, $2.23 a lead, $1.95 a lead. I think he's averaging about $3 something a lead as well. Yeah, in fact, here you can see 575 total leads, $2,000 budget. And Gordon, it's funny because he was doing it at around the same time we were doing it. I had no idea he was doing it until like the first week of May was the first time I had heard of him doing this. And it's crazy how it tracks with what we're doing.
It's right on. Yeah.
Yeah, that cost per lead, 353. We're at like 344 or something. And he's in Texas. Gordon's in Pensacola,
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's already got 2 buyers that have closed, 3 more in the pipeline, 18,000 GCI already. Gordon's going to go from 0 to about 80,000, I think, here real quickly.
Yeah, actually, I just got an update from Craig today. He's now 4 in the pipeline.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah, so it
perfect.
just keeps growing.
Awesome, awesome. And Gordon, or not Gordon, but Craig, I love what he's doing here. He sends a video text. So he's got the AI text follow-up going, and then listings to leads, and I'm sure in Lofty and others as well, you can turn it off after you start following up yourself if you want to. Sometimes
Right.
people leave both of them on. Gordon, how do you do that with Lofty? Do you turn it off when you start?
Yeah. Once I connect,
Yeah.
I don't want to confuse the person, but until I connect, I like to have the AI and myself making the calls, making the texts,
Okay.
you know. But once I connect, I'm going to be the person talking to that lead.
Yeah.
Once you connect, you just shut off the AI.
Yes, I put it on pause.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely perfect, actually, because you're right. It's they might look at your text, they might look at you and whatever. So I think keeping all of it going until they make a connection with one or the other. And then if they do the AI, then great, you'll get the notification, then you can follow up. Or if they go right to you, then you can turn the AI off. I know, like with our AI, and I'm sure Lofty as well, as soon as the person responds to the affirmative of, hey, our team, they give some information, the AI will say, great, we'll have our team member reach out to you. And then it just shuts off right there. And then it lets you know, hey, they are looking for a $500,000 home in Pensacola. Go ahead and call them. We're not going to keep bothering them anymore. Or, whatever it's going to be, the AI will shut off and then let you take it from there. But yeah, I love Craig. He's doing the video text message, which I think is phenomenal. And this is from a client, again, just to reinforce what we're talking about here, right? This guy, I never heard of him before. Maybe he's on the call with us. Rocky, if you are, love to set up a call with you someday. The dude has been with us since 2017, and I've never heard of him. And he's just saying the same thing. It's your lack of consistent execution. And a lot of it is, and I get it, it's money being spent, time being spent,
And not
and
getting
you're
results.
nervous. I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I totally. It's natural. But hopefully with a call like this and what we're talking about here, you can get a little bit more confidence in the process and understand that, hey, listen, the first 2 to 3 to 4 weeks might be a little bit. Now, hey, you might get a client coming in, and if you're doing the open houses, it might pop a little bit quicker. All that being said, though, it might be 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks before it starts popping for you. And you got to grind through that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And as Brent Sweet said, generating leads isn't so hard, but it's doing it cost effectively.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get out of here.
Can you see the comments people are posting?
I can. The bad thing is, and yes, this is being recorded. Yes, Neil, you can totally. Watch what happens. I don't know if you can see it, but now you're completely covered up. So I got to figure out a way to move the comments because right now your
I can
screen is
see it. It's
completely
okay,
covered up.
but I just want you to make sure you respond to some of these comments.
Yep. I totally will.
All
So
right.
I'm going to give this link to everybody after the call. I just want to review it super quick. At the top of this is a previous webinar that we did with Craig, where he kind of walks through some little what we're walking through with Gordon. And that's another great call right there. This video right here, you click on it, and I'm going to review some of this today. But if you're watching the recording or you want to come back to this later, this is me doing an ad where I walk you through the common mistakes people make when they got an ad that's performing badly. Like someone, I think Matt was you the other day. Matt came in and was like, I ran some ads, great cost per lead. I ran another ad and I'm at $10 plus. And again, this is the video you want to watch to help alleviate that. And then Gordon, you tell me if you think these 10 commandments ring true. All right. The first one is you want to spend about 100, 150 bucks a week as quickly as possible. All right. Spending under that is just dipping your toes in the water. There's no point in doing 35, 40 bucks a week only. You really want to get your budget up. And I think, Gordon, we're at like 125 a week right now.
Yeah, we're comfortable with that. It's more than that, Scott. I'm going to have so many people to call. It's like, okay, that is that's like not even half. That's like 20% of what I was spending before at
Right.
other websites and everything
Yeah.
else. And now you have been able to cut my costs 80%.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
And I feel like you're giving me better leads and all that.
And I don't know, I never asked you this. I go into your account once in a while and I'll just look at it and I'll search. We got that tool where you can search their phone number on Google. And it seems like 75% are good phone numbers typically.
Yes.
Would you say that's about right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Neil. So somebody just asked, when you get a lead and they give you the phone number, yes, we follow TCPA guidelines. So even if they're on the DNC, you still are able to call them. We have the TPCA legal information, the verbiage in there, and we actually pass that through to your CRM. So you got the consent stored in your CRM or in Listings-to-Leads for that. So yeah, if you get a phone number, they could be on the DNC, but because they came through as a lead and the phone number is part of that lead form, you're good to go for calling them. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Number 2, real quickly here. Now we want you to spend between 100 to 150 a week, and you can split that between 2 to 3 ads, no problem. But I want you to be doing $50 minimum per ad. Now, the one caveat to that, Gordon, is I didn't get a hold of you in time for your open house. And
Yeah.
we did the open house ad Friday or
Mm.
Thursday, I think Friday. And I did a 24-hour ad. We were generating leads at $1.50 a lead. And then I realized, oh shit, he's got 2 open houses. There's one on Saturday and Sunday. So I extended the ad another day. And then it started coming back up to the $2-something range after that. But the key is you want to be at least $10, not $10 a day, but like I said, either $50 for a week or $10 a day if you're going to be under a week. Yeah, and we got people spending $200 to $300 a week per ad. Absolutely no problem. Watch your ads daily.
ROI, it's like no brainer.
Yeah. But again, the problem gets to when people they're in it for a week. They got a couple of bad phone numbers. Someone said, "Why are you calling me?" And then they just don't realize. Listen, yeah, that's going to happen. But when I start getting 200 to 300 leads coming in a month, I'm going to get the good leads, and then that ROI is going to start popping. And in real estate, even a quick lead is 30 to 60 days. It may be 90 or 120 before you start getting closings. But like Gordon said, you'll know when those conversations start turning and you start getting some really good ones. So here, watch your ads daily. You can turn an ad off and then just rerun it. And I'll talk about that and I actually address that in the video above. Keep running ads every week, as we talked about already. Use AI text follow-up, either from Listings-to-Leads, Lofty, whatever you got. Think about sending video text messages like what you saw with Craig. The reason I like that is the quicker they get to see your beautiful, shiny face, the better. All right, the better. I want them to get comfortable with me as quickly as possible so that when I do call them, they're going to take my phone call. Don't let bad phone numbers knock you off your game. Gordon, at this point, now that you've been doing it, when you get a bad phone number, what do you do?
Email.
But you don't get bent out of shape is my point.
Oh no, it's just like next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
What happens if you get a phone number and the phone number says you cannot leave a message? It's like the voicemail is full.
Yeah.
Do you text or do you email?
I try to text on those. I try to text, but I will always email.
No. Okay.
And move to the next one. It's just
keep moving.
Keep moving quickly. You have enough leads. You are giving me enough leads. I stay busy all day. Day. And everybody else in my area, Scott, they're telling me it's dead.
Wow.
I'm like, it's not dead.
You don't have Listings-to-Leads, but you're like, I'm not telling them.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The point I wanted to get to that with that question, and you answered it essentially, which is don't let the negative energy come in. Don't, because you're going to carry that. If you get pissed off and you get bitter, and then you go to call the next person, they're gonna hear that in your voice. So just let it go, man. Like some cool surfer dude, right? Let it go. And Gordon, you're on the coast, right? So you got the beach right there with you. So go stick your toes in the sand a little bit, come back and be good to go. You can use the search, you can use the more button in Listings to Lead. So when you're on the lead detail page, there's a more. And so sometimes if you get a bad phone number or a bad email, use the more button, search the other one, and you can sometimes find the good phone number, but also you can find, and per number 10, you can find their home address. And you can find that you could find that they own a home, and then that can help you discern maybe they're also a seller lead. So that's phenomenal as well.
I use that more button every day.
Yeah,
wow.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Every day.
All right. Any quick questions before? So Lee says, I'm sorry, I got to cover you up a little bit.
That's
But
right.
so real couple quick questions. Lee, oh my gosh. Gordon, are you paying Scott to run your ads for you? No, I do it for free. I've known Gordon forever. He was literally one of our very first clients when the company got started. And as I was saying, he was in and out all the time. And I was just
Well,
like, Gordon, when I told the story earlier, I was just like, Gordon, listen, you're a great broker. You've been in the business for a long time. You know what you're doing. Just let me run the ads for you and get you going. And so Lee, no, but what he is paying me is he's giving me constant feedback and he's getting on a call like this. So that's priceless.
and can I just add to a point? But I think because of the success that Gordon is having, we do want to offer at some point for clients to let us run the ads for them
Yeah.
because
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
expertise. Yeah, the
Yeah.
concierge service we call it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely are going to offer a service. That we don't have to even log into the system. They'll just go to wherever you want them to go to. So if anybody's interested in that, ping me. And Matthew, exactly right. Dub videos, bomb would be an awesome one as well. Or worst case scenario, just use your phone and send it out. Bomb could be good because you can record a video and then send it, be able to track it if and when they see it and all that great stuff. And I believe Dub as well give you some analytics behind it. So yeah, Matthew, thank you for that. That's a great call. So here's the deal. Every single week, I'm just going to show you what we do. I'm just going to tell you what we do with Gordon. Every single week, we run 2 to 3 ads a week. They're either going to be just listed, active, or open house. Gordon also does open houses every single week. And now he's doing like a nut job. He's doing 4 a weekend. Now he's got 2 absolutely gorgeous drop dead listings. And you're doing like 10 to 1 on the first one and then 2 to 4 on the other one or something.
10 to 12, 1 to 4.
All right. So 10 to 12 for the one listing, 1 to 4 for the second listing. He does that Saturday and Sunday. And I remember Dustin Fox, right? The guy who wrote that book, I got it right here. He does 3-day open houses. He does Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Gordon, right? The idea isn't necessarily to do open houses for the rest of your life, but man, I tell you, it's a great way to really build that business up a lot quicker. Especially like you said before, when you're marketing it with Listings to Leads and a lot of the other tools besides the ads that we've got. Yeah, that's going to it's awesome. So every week you got to have, I would say 2 listings. I would try to find 2 listings a week. Borrow a listing from somebody in your office. You think deal of the week, think new construction, right? You've got new construction, market those incentives. A lot of times new construction can have incentives. Another agent will have an listing in your office if you don't have one. I didn't put this in the 10 commandments, and Gordon, you're getting lucky. Sometimes when you start running an ad too many times on one listing, you start falling off the cliff with your cost per lead. So you may be able to run the ads for 2 or 3 weeks on a listing, but after that, you'll need to find something else. So be aware of that. But yeah, so 2 listings minimum per week, I would say. $50 each, raise it up to maybe $60 to $65 each. You could do 3 listings a week, right? 50 would be a great call. I'm not going to get into adding listings and all that because I just want to focus on the ad itself. And then we're going to talk a little bit about open houses. And then Gordon, I want to talk about that FSBO. I want to come back to that FSBO a little bit later because I think for a lot of people, if you got FSBOs and expireds in your area. So here's the deal, people. You're going to click the market listing button. You're going to click Facebook and Instagram ad. It's so simple. And I have your video. Matthew, what do you, real quickly, I gotta say this. When neighbors come by, I have your video running the TV in the loop of all the marketing that you do, then have my LPT big box. Yeah. That'd be, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and Matthew, that gets to the idea that an open house is a seller showcase. When you look at our open house mastery training, you'll see all the things that we talk about and how to make sure that when you do an open house and sellers come through, you'll get the business. All right, so here we go. It's going to autofill location. Try not to get fancy. Don't get cute. If Gordon wanted to, he could start throwing in New York and Chicago and Miami. Save that for later. When you're making money, start worrying about that. In the beginning, leave it for your area and your area only. We're going to default to don't change the radius. Leave the radius as is. Anyone that's driving through, working in, visiting, living in this area are going to see the ad. So you don't need to go 30. I see, oh my God, I see people going like 60, 90 miles because they think, oh, it's going to be more leads. And it's actually the opposite. All right. It's actually the opposite. Leave it at 15. The only thing I want you to change is the budget. $50 minimum. We got ads that we've done for Gordon at $100. So we'll bounce between 50 and 100, depending on how many listings we're doing that week. We haven't gone above 100, but we've also been usually doing like 2 to 3 listings a week for the most part. You can change the end date. So for example, he's got the open house this weekend. So I would change that weekly end date from the 3rd or from the 10th through the 8th. And if the open house is ending like at 4, now I might come in here and just say, you know what, end it at like 3:37. So it's going to end. Now this ad is good to go. The one thing this is the one thing I see a lot of people make the mistake. When you upload your photos into the MLS, you're doing 4 photos of the front of the house, 4 photos of the kitchen, 4 photos of the bedroom or whatever it is. So they're all grouped. And this template, which is we've used for every single ad of Gordon's, is using this template. And I think Craig Johnson as well. If it's all like front of the house, front of the house, front of the house, front of the house, you got to change them. So here's how you do that. Click change template. And this will come up. Now we've got a lot of different templates. Don't use them. I don't want, when I got clients that I know and I see them using this template, I literally go into their accounts, Gordon, and I change it on them. I'm like, I got a client in Houston. I'm like, dude, just stop with your picture. Your picture is in your Facebook page. Knock it off. Come back to this one. And then you know what? Then
advertising the house, not you.
I saw him that he switched it back. When I literally went back in, I switched it on him again, and I pinged him on Facebook. I was like, dude, stop changing that image.
That's
I mean, I know it's actually he works with his wife, and so it's a picture of her. And I was like, dude, your wife is beautiful, but we want the house to be what people are coming in for. So my point was, you don't want to have 4 images of the front of the house. So click in the upper left, there's an edit. You'll see that pop up, edit. And now I can swap out any image. So every image in the top left of each little thumbnail, I can click and the little thing will come up. I can either typically it'll just be right here. And then I can select a different image, pop it in there. And now, because I want to make sure, right, front of the house should be the main photo on the top, maybe the kitchen, maybe the living room, maybe the backyard. So I would typically, I got the kitchen top, bottom. Typically, I would make the kitchen bottom left. So I can, again, come in here and insert the kitchen. And then I got the living room and do the backyard. So you get the idea. And then click save. The other thing that I see happens, here, let me show you. Let's just say my brand colors were different. Let's say this was my brand. So whatever is gray, like I'm Coldwell Banker, I'm Sotheby's, and I'm using a gray or even like a blue, right? And I'll show you with blue what that looks like. Sometimes it can get a little bit tone on tone.
Yeah.
And so imagine the Facebook newsfeed and people are going down and it just gets kind of lost in the shuffle. So that's where that red or another more bright color can really nicely pop out in the feed. And it could be the green, darker, like a brighter blue, red, a brighter orange, right? Depending on your, again, on your color. Don't be afraid. Just because you're with Keller Williams, you don't have to use red. Just because you're with Coldwell Banker, you don't have to use blue. You can use whatever color you want. All right. Because we want it to be attractive on the feed, but also with the property itself. And Gordon, you see me, right? I'm always changing your colors. Every week I'll change the colors because I don't want people seeing the same property with the same colors all the time. And then the last thing I'll mention here is notice, oh, sorry about that. Let me close that. What I wanted to do, the banner, new construction in Folsom, there's also an editor for that as well. So I can click here. And so Gordon's got a beautiful waterfront listing. So I can say waterfront in Pensacola, short and sweet. And I got the text, and even that can be changed. So that could be deal of the week. That could be new construction, whatever you want. So those are the, if you just look at the photos in the template, so the photos in the ad, the coloring would be secondary issue. Other than that, just bump up your budget a little bit, avoid touching anything else, and click create ad. Now, even with all of that, you may have an ad like Matthew did last week where you're spending $10 a lead all of a sudden. Sometimes Facebook just goes nuts. All you want to do, turn the ad off and just redo it. You know what I mean? Yeah. That marketing video that, oh, you mean, oh, Matthew, you mean the one from Listings-to-Leads? Oh, Gordon, I like this idea.
Oh, the 100 plus
Yeah.
marketing plan.
Oh, we got that. Oh,
Oh,
dude, that's nice. I like that idea, dude. Thank you for that. That's sweet. Gordon, I'll show you what he's talking about
we gotta
in a
add
minute
to
here.
the open house training.
That would be really sweet. That'd be really sweet. Now, one more thing. If you have an ad and it's running great, let's say you got this ad and it's 23 leads, $1.85, or whatever you like, whatever your number is, ends, and click edit and add to the budget and extend the end date. So I'm going to scroll down and right here, budget. Just open it up. Right. So let's say it was 100. So, I'm going to 100 and I'm like, it's a total. So I'm going to say no, 150. So it'll spend a total of 150, not an extra 150. So the total is 150. And I'm going to say, you know what? Let's pop that baby out to the 29th or the 15th or whatever it is. And now click update. And now the new budget, or the more money is thrown at the same ad. So we're not turning it off. We're not redoing it, and let it keep running. And I got clients that would do that 2 or 3 times in a row, as long as that ad is performing well. No harm in doing that. Right. In fact, Gordon, that might be something we look at with a couple of your ads.
Yeah.
Because there have been a couple of your ads where you're in the low 2s. Dude, your Belmont listing, holy cow. That's a gift that keeps on giving. I'm telling you, that listing is just like, I keep thinking we've run that ad like 4 times, 5. And I keep thinking, my God, at some point this listing is just going to just kill us. And nope, that listing every week, we just try it again. And I'm like, and I check it every single day. It's never gone above 4.
No.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah. Why is that particular? Because it's just a beautiful property.
Oh. It's downtown Pensacola property.
Location.
Location.
Yeah.
No, but it's also a really pretty property. It's beautiful photos. It's a great looking property, but it's that location.
Yes, it's gorgeous properties, great updates, newer home, and it's downtown. So everybody wants that house.
Just the whole facade is so pretty. I know why it works, but at the same time, at some point, so I'm showing.
It's gonna die down, but it didn't.
So Gordon, here, check this out. If you got access to their TV, where you can, Matthew, are you screencasting? So in the media library, right here, if you type in 100, and let's see, marketing. I can find it, but I just want to give. Oh, there we go. Marketing. Let's see. Media from L to L. Let me see. Oh man. What plan? Marketing plan? Oh, there we go. All right.
It's under the
Oh,
plan.
the plan to get your home sold. I'm sorry. That's a short version. Let me try home sold because there's a longer version video as well. All right, there's a longer version. Get into the mastermind group. I'll try to post something there. This is a minute long. There's also like a 3-minute version. So this, dude, I would put this on your TV at the open house. This could be, or laptop or something if you wanted to, whatever. But again, the short version's a minute 18. First of all, for all of you, I'd put this on my Facebook. I would pin it to my Facebook. We've got a vertical video version that you can put on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. In fact, I'd put this on YouTube as well. Definitely. We got so many great videos in here. Let me see. Yeah, let me see here. If I go recent, let me try. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll put in the mastermind group either later tonight or tomorrow what the search term is for it. I thought it was like 100, but there's 3 versions. There's a short version landscape that we just saw. There is a long version landscape that we saw, and then there's also the vertical version. We got clients they'll download these. So what you can do here is if you're on your phone, just download them to your phone. What I do is I'll download it. So rent to own. We got clients that every day or two, I see them taking one of these videos and they throw it up on Instagram, they throw it up on Facebook. And so from my Mac, I'll just share it to my phone, right? I'll airdrop it to my phone, and then I just post it everywhere on my socials. So yeah.
Very good
Matt
idea.
says play the song. Matt, you like that song? That song is cool, actually. Come on. It's almost like a quasi whatever kind of music, but it's cool. Anyways. All right. Any other questions for us? Gordon, anything that you think that we missed?
I think you covered pretty much everything, Scott. So I don't know.
Can you look at the questions people have?
Yeah, no, Matthew, no, we don't have a lot of questions. There's a lot of people on the call, so thanks everybody for joining us. Here we go. Gordon, can you share what you say? Yeah, this is a great question. Thank you, Neil. I appreciate it. Gordon, can you share when you call the Facebook lead? So what does your follow-up look like? You got the AI, you're calling them. So you get me on the phone. What are you saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, Scott, I saw you were on our website. You came from Facebook. You're looking at 522 Belmont Street. That's a great house. What did you think about it? And then play off what you say. It could be some simple. I may start it off. Hey, Scott, this is Gordon Day, LPT Realty. What a gorgeous day outside it is, right? And you're kind of like, okay, so what's he calling for? And yeah, okay, yeah, it's a great day, Gordon. Yeah, look, I won't take up too much of your time today, Scott, but I'll tell you what, you were looking at Belmont. It's a gorgeous house. Would you like to go inside? We'll set a time to view it. No, that one wasn't for me. And then I've got multiple other properties. What kind of property are you looking for? Are you looking for something downtown or west side, south side, north side, Pensacola? Waterfront? What's your goal? And then some people would talk, some people won't talk. And I'm just going to categorize them, put them in my CRM, ABC them, and move to the next call. It's not that hard. I just want to have a conversation. Every conversation, I'm not trying to convert into a deal. I just want to have conversations. And then from the conversation, they're going to tell me they want to work with me. And like they did today, multiple people today, get on the phone, have conversations, just be yourself. You don't have to be overly scripted. It's what I'm saying is what feels good to you. And just be yourself. I work with Ricky Carruth a lot, and Ricky's Ricky. I can't be him. That guy's just off the charts.
Can I share something? I think the first call is always intimidating. Okay, it is intimidating because you afraid to call that number. I remember I put that number in, I looked at it and I would not press that call button. I was so, sorry, my language, I was so scared, right? But once you made that first call, and I was so glad, oh my gosh, she was not there. But you're like, oh, thank God. Okay. Then you start that process again. But you know what? The first conversation you have, you're gonna get better and you're gonna feel like I'm after 10 calls, I'm like not even scared anymore. So if I can do it, I've never made like cold calls in my whole life. You can do it.
Yes.
You just gotta get over that fear. The first one, the second one, you just got like, you know what? I put a number in, I'm just gonna press that button. I don't care what happens. And then just like Gordon said, you go with the flow. You don't have to be overly script. Exactly. Whatever they say, you have something responding to their response.
Active listening. But
Yeah.
sometimes, Gordon, let me ask you this question. Do you ever get in the kind of a rut? Maybe you're calling and you're almost like too casual. Like, do you sometimes like you're almost bored of calling, but yet you're still calling? And does that even make sense? What I'm saying?
Yeah. So what I try to do is make calls for 90 minutes.
Okay.
That's my power time. That's my first get up and go. Then I'll take a 30-minute break, Scott, so I won't get in the rut. And
Okay.
then I'll do a 60-minute call.
Oh wow. So when do you start calling? Like 8 or
Now, I know they say do 8, but I do 9
9?
to 10:30.
Uh,
And that is a challenge, but once you get done with 90, the second hour, 60 minutes is easy.
Yeah.
You know, it goes by like this webinar you're doing right now. It's like we just started and it's over.
I told you, right? Like literally,
Yeah.
when we first started doing these, I was thinking, why am I doing 5 to 6? That's gonna no, this is literally the fastest hour of my day, and I love it. I get so much energy from doing this that by the time I get done, I'm actually more amped up than I was at 4:30 or 4:50 before it gets started. So yeah,
I do
these
have a
webinars give me energy.
I
I
will
do have
say one more thing about the calls. When you have a bad person, not a bad person, but an angry person, why am I calling them? And I'm like, look, dude, I'm just calling to help you. If you don't want my help, that's fine. But
yeah.
I'm here to help you. You were on my website looking at houses. Are you thinking about buying or selling?
I love it. I love
And
it.
and,
Okay.
and you know what? That who's that lady that's on my list
Oh
every
my God.
you know who I'm talking about, Scott,
Oh
right?
yeah. Dude, she fills out every ad you've got. She's on there. Oh,
Everyone. And so she was never. She told me she was yelling when I first called. I
Oh
finally
wow.
reached her. I finally reached her after all these
oh
months,
yeah.
and now she's buying. Now she's buying, but
Wow.
she was yelling at me, and I was like, "Look,
You know what? Hold that thought for 1 second. That is so awesome because
I
this is classic. Hold on 1 second.
yeah,
Oh, for everybody out there, I'm not going to show it, but he's got this lead. And I literally, a couple days ago, I ran one of the ads on Friday, and like within 2 minutes, she's filling out the damn lead form. And I texted to Gordon. I said, remember, I said, kill me now. And then Gordon said, here's what you said. She goes, and I knew this already because you told me this before, and I was just laughing so hard. You said, she is real. I finally spoke with her. She's waiting, whatever, to sell the house, and then she's going to buy. It took a lot to reach her. And
yes,
this woman has probably filled out, if we've run however many ads that we've run, she's probably filled out about a third of them. A third
yes,
of them. Like
yes,
every freaking other day, she's coming
yes.
in as a lead.
I have
Yeah,
another question.
some people get so mad at us at Listings to Leads, like, how can you get them to stop? And they're just running up my. I'm like, dude, listen, if they're on your ads, Gordon, say it again. It took a while to get a hold of her. She yelled at you, but
She
now,
she, she was screaming, and I said, "I got you at a bad time. I can feel it." But you were on my website. I'm just calling to help you. And then she realized what she was doing and she calmed down. And at first she was telling me, I'm not buying anything. I'm never going to buy anything. I'm not buying. I'm not buying. And I was like, I got you. Filling out these forms for a while.
So
And
if you can, Gordon, I have a question. If you can reach this person the first time, you're gonna call again. How many times you call until you finally, okay, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your rule?
So the first 7 days, I'm going to call until I reach you.
Wow. Okay.
Then I'm just going to go with the drip. I'm not going to call. I'm getting enough leads right now where they will go into similar to that one lady I saw you put up. She does a weekly email, Scott.
Yeah.
So at that point, they get the weekly email from me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's how I stay in touch with them.
Yeah, because imagine again when you're generating 2 to 3 leads max a day, and some of you, my God, you're generating 3 to 4 leads a week. You're dipping your toes in, and then your commission breath. You're stressing. You're trying to call them every day for 3 months in a row. That's what you have to do because you're not spending the money. You're not committing. You're not just putting it out there and getting that money spent. And oh my God, Gordon, when we were first working together, you had the big website company that you were paying for. You had the follow-up system that you were paying for. You had another data provider for expires that you were paying for. And it was like when this started coming together, and you had the mailing company that you were paying for. When this started coming together, it was like, just get rid of this shit. Just get rid of all of that crap. I don't need the expense. I don't need the aggravation. I don't need the distraction because we're Listings-to-Leads and Lofty. That's all I need. That's all.
Conversations, and the conversations, whatever you're saying, will get better with more conversations. After a while, everything you hear, you've heard it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I just absolutely love them. I'm going to clip that a little bit later when you said she was screaming and she's yelling. And you just said, listen, I can tell you're having a bad day.
yeah,
But that the empathy there is just absolutely you didn't get you didn't get defensive, you didn't hang up and get scared, you didn't apologize and hang up and I'll call you. No, you just empathize and let her keep talking.
yeah.
Can I put it? Go ahead, Gordon. Sorry, I didn't mean
We-
to.
If we just listen to them and realize it, just have the conversation. Don't try to convert. Do not try to convert, and keep digging deeper into the relationship building. Find out their true goals. Because if you dig deep and get all the goals, they're going to tell you how you can help them, and they convert at that point.
Yeah, you're building rapport. I'm sure through conversations, you're gonna find something of interest, common interest.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's how relationship builds over time.
So it can't
I
be
wonder,
like, have you spoken to the lender? Have you done this? Have you done that? And trying to get them pre-qualified before they even know who you are.
Neil has
Mm.
a question.
Yeah, real quickly, this will be the last question of the night, if you don't mind, Gordon. So he
Yeah.
says, now if they don't answer the phone, and you'll love this one too. What would be a good idea for a follow-up text? So you call them, there's no answer. Do you text right away or do you wait on the text, or how does that work?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if they don't answer, I do leave voicemail.
Yep.
And then I text and email. And the text and email are similar. Like, hey, Scott, I just left you a voicemail. This is Gordon Day with LPT Realty. And I'm following up, trying to connect with you, see how I can best help you. Both the text, both the email and text go out immediately.
Yeah. Perfect.
Immediately.
Perfect. Dude.
Well, I have one more question.
All right.
So this is the last one. It's gonna be a simple one. In Florida, there are a lot of retirees. So you call them in the morning. It's great. What do you suggest for people in other states? People who work. What is the best time to call?
I'll tell you when I call, when they answer. Because if I'm calling people in the daytime, I look at the time of my calls. And if I'm calling them in the first 90 minutes or 60 minutes and they never answer, I start calling in the afternoon to those people. So, and I have gotten them to answer the phone in the afternoon. And then I look at what time they answer, and I put in my follow-up calls to call at that time frame.
Wow.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
That's really smart, actually. I like that. Perfect. All right, Gordon, dude, it's been a long time knowing you. So excited that we're
I actually want to ask you one more question,
connecting.
but
And
like,
wait, who does? He does?
yeah, like of
I
all
think
the programs,
Gordon will let you. I think he'll let you.
Yeah,
of all the programs he's cut, like how much you save? It's just ballpark.
Thousands.
Scott knows. Yes,
Yeah.
thousands.
Thousands. Yeah, that's your marketing budget. So my point
Oh
is,
no, we're not spending
don't
anywhere
spend even
close.
near as that. That's my point. So
Yeah.
go
That-
take a look at all the marketing dollars that you wasted on programs that are not generating any results. Get rid of them and just focus on two things: listening to leads and a good follow-up.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't even talk about our AI follow-up actually.
We mentioned it a few times.
Yeah.
You'll see in listings to leads when you do an ad or on the leads page, you'll see it there. If you have any questions, again, get into the mastermind group or go
Yeah.
support to help you out there. Gordon, it's 9:00 there, dude. I know it's getting a little
Thank
bit
you so
late.
much. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh, I love having you on.
Somebody had a quick question. You can turn off your AI follow-up for that particular lead.
Yeah, just like Gordon said.
Okay.
So Gordon's
Yeah.
like, he'll leave them both going at the same time. His calls, his texts, his emails. Let the AI happen as well. Let them both until they connect. As soon as you connect either way, turn off the AI and then start engaging with them.
Somebody was asking how you do it in our system. So I'm trying to
Go to the, I don't want to do it right here on the call just because I'd have to show lead detail, but go to the lead detail page. So click on the lead's name. In the upper, you'll see AI text conversation. There'll be a green indicator and it'll say on. Just tap it and it'll go into off. Yeah, super easy, real easy. Yeah. All right,
I'm
buddy.
good.
All right.
Thank
Awesome.
you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gordon. We'll talk to the, I'll reach out to you tomorrow. We'll be talking.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, Gordon. Have a good night. Thank you for staying up late. You have a glow, so you know you're doing well.
Yeah.
He's smiling. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
It
All
was-
right, everyone. Thank you so much.